All right.
Hey,
We're here.
welcome everybody.
Welcome, everybody. You notice that this is Dungeon Class +2 today.
Well, Dungeon Class Live, you never know who's going to be on. So
That's right. Good point. Good point.
Yeah.
We have special guests with us here today, all the way from Utah, as Logan Gonzalez down at the bottom, and then just down the road from New Zealand is our our good friend Fred Wheeler from How to D&D.
Yeah, welcome.
Right
around the corner.
Right around the corner.
Hi, Logan.
Hey.
Logan's far more famous than I am. I don't even show up on the, I'm nobody.
Yeah, right.
I just, you found me on the streets and I was walking by and you said, we need somebody else in here. And I said, yeah, okay.
Be awkward with the third head, we need someone else.
Yeah, that's how it went. That's exactly how that was. It's kind of like tickets to the Price is Right show here in the States. They need to fill the audience, so they just grab somebody.
Yeah.
So no, we're really glad to have him. We're going to have him just for a short time here, so we probably should get into talking about some books real quick while we've got him here.
I would just for one, there's within short time, there's quite a bit of content coming out or from Wizards of the Coast, and I was wondering how you felt, Fred, about your excitement level, what you're looking forward to most or not at all, that kind of thing. One is the RIme of the Frostmaiden, which some people already have in their hands. I think it's supposed to come out Tuesday, the 15th. Is that right, Mark?
Yes.
So, and Mark, you can be able to show that. And the other one is Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, which seems to be like our.
Oh yeah, I can show that somehow.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, you can.
I will try this. Let's see.
Okay, we're learning the tech as we go.
Yeah, share and screen with 4 people. This is new territory here.
So I think you just put it on the side, and then you put full. Yeah. Look at that.
All right, there we go.
Oh my gosh, there it is.
All right, so Icewind Dale, RIme of the Frostmaiden. Nice. I'm digging the 2 covers myself, Gonzo.
Well, art's always a grabber. What do you guys think?
Well, Logan, do you want to go first?
Sure. I'm pretty stoked. I've loved Icewind Dale since I read the Icewind Dale book back in the day, the R.A. Salvatore one. It's such a fun setting, and just that art alone is just so cool. I think it really sets the mood. I haven't really done too much homework in what this is going to be about, but just looking at the cover and the name of it, like the RIme of the Frostmaiden, it sounds cold. It sounds cool.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely really curious. What do you think, Fred?
Okay. I'm never too sort of that excited about adventure books because there's more adventure books being released than I could possibly ever run. Icewind Dale, it's a horror. I think that's a very difficult type of adventure to run. Horror, really, really difficult. Frankly, I would say that there was going to be like a huge demand when this book comes out for people needing assistance on how to figure out how to do that, because that's what happened with Curse of Strahd. The artwork, I think the artwork is great. I think the non specially edition artwork is actually very nice.
Yeah.
I don't actually just dislike the artwork. I mean, I haven't really disliked the artwork that Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition is pumping out. Usually it's all oil paintings or watercolors, and that's pretty high standard stuff.
Yeah, I agree. I think Mark and I are big on art, and we grew up, in the original when it was paintings by some of the greats like Jeff Easley and Larry Elmore and Keith Parkinson and that kind of thing. And I agree. I think 5th edition brought back the classic art style versus what 4th edition had turned into for sure, and some of 3rd where they used a lot more comic book stuff, which I'm a big comic book collector, but it was a little more like cartoony or that kind of thing. This seems, like you said, more, I guess, realistic or something, and I like that art style for sure for 5th edition.
Yeah, I agree. So from what I was reading about it, 100 years later, after Drizzt and all that, I was like, oh no, at first. But then as I was reading, it's pretty intriguing. It's kind of has a lot of mystery involved. It kind of reminds me, I know this is kind of weird to say, but reminds me of Dark Sun in that environment is a real issue in the beginning, like survival and being out in the cold and all that. And I'm like, that's pretty cool. And Frostmaiden is a pretty awesome big bad evil guy, so to speak. So I think that'll be pretty interesting. I'm actually pretty stoked about it all around.
Yeah, good.
So we have a comment here, Dungeoneers. I'm not so familiar with this. Set up in line with the Essentials Kit book and Ghost of Saltmarsh.
Well, I think this does have. I wonder if he's talking about Tasha's, because Tasha's does. They are going more into the not the hirelings. What do you call them?
Oh, the sidekicks.
Yeah, the sidekicks, which the Essentials
Right.
Kit had. So I bet that's what he's speaking about.
Could be. Yeah.
But yeah,
And-
I'll be picking up my copy of this pretty soon. I guess this week, and we'll be excited. And like I do, Fred, you may do the same thing. I have the stuff, but I don't think I've run, other than Curse of Strahd, I don't really run them through. I take stuff out of there of what I like, and then I put that in my home game. Now, I don't run a lot of games other than my home group, so I think I'd be more apt to run it as is if I was doing like at a convention or something like that, with a bunch of strangers. But so I never have a problem with. Some people complain as usual. I guess they complain about everything, but I never have a problem with them coming out with more adventures, because you look at it, you take what you like out of it and use it. So.
Oh, okay. This is what Engineer Pack's talking about.
Right.
So yeah, I know. I was reading. It's pretty. It's all over. Like it has. It's very sandboxy, which is good. Which I think that's what you're saying about dropping, taking quests, drop them in your games, not worried about the main story. You can kind of take those little pieces out, and there's some really intriguing side quest kind of things that are in the list that I was like, I think I want to run this one, Gonzo. I call dibs.
All right. Then you buy the book. You buy the book.
All right, no problem.
Okay. That'll work.
So I pre-ordered it yesterday.
Okay.
So it'll probably show up just before Christmas.
Really, yeah.
Oh no! Look, to be fair, the book depository's been pretty good.
Yeah.
They were cheaper than buying it in New Zealand and cheaper than going and using Amazon. Amazon was going to be really expensive. But yeah, I think that really most adventures, particularly if they are sandboxy and not sort of like a railroad and have a linear nature to them, you can just sort of remove stuff. The Essentials Kit, Dragon of Ice by Peaks like that. Curse of Strahd, you could pluck and pull things out of there and put it somewhere else if you wanted to. So it's not actually, I don't feel like it's really going to be heading into new territory. I just think that the design team are marketing it as that because they have realized that the vast majority of people running games take bits and pieces from pre-made adventures and put them into their own adventures rather than run their stuff verbatim. Do you know what I mean? It's all very well Chris Perkins liking the idea of running long arc campaigns, but people just want the short stuff so they can put it together like a jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah. And honestly, it's hard to run a long campaign and keep everybody together. That's just reality. Yeah. All right. So which cover? I guess I was going to say which cover, but I guess if you're getting it from the book depository, I'm guessing it's it's the one cover, not the limited edition. You'd have to go to a game store. Do the game stores there get the limited edition, or?
You can buy the limited edition off Amazon, off the book depository. They removed that bonus for the brick and mortar stores, which I think was kind of unfair because now the brick and mortar stores don't have people coming in to buy it; they're going straight to the online stores.
All right.
Yeah, that's a bad. You're right. That's something to think about because they're already struggling with the COVID thing and not being able to have groups come and do Magic the Gathering, tournaments and all that, and now and maybe that's why Wizards did that is they didn't know how many game stores would even be out there to get this alternate cover, to people. So Hey, there's something I know we want to do while Fred's here.
Yes.
And we want to talk about. I'm trying to get the glare out of there.
I don't have my copy.
Yeah,
It's behind me, and it looks really weird if I suddenly stand up and go walk over and grab my copy. Yeah, it's a pretty impressive book.
Now, Logan, you haven't looked through here, and that's on purpose because if you do, then you'll know how to solve the riddle. So I'm keeping this I'm keeping this closed tight, and then whoever wants a riddle to use or a puzzle to use in their game, then they can borrow it. But until that point, I'm trying to keep it. I haven't looked through them either, as far as figuring out how to do each one, because I don't want to spoil it for me in case Mark runs one or whatever. Logan does. So
wait, you looked at it to see how to do each one, like the solution?
No, that's what I'm saying. I have not done that. Trust me.
Oh, okay.
And Wally DM said that's a cool looking book. Well, this is the book that you can get on Drive-Thru RPG and DM's Guild. It's I think a platinum seller. He sold well over 1,000 copies now, right?
Nice.
Yeah, and this hardback version of this book is I couldn't believe it, but it was only like $20. And you can get the PDF for $4.95 or less than $5. So it's really a great value. And I think every dungeon master should have this kind of resource, this specifically, because it's something that you can take. It's built. In fact, Mark and I did a video that will release at some point where we reviewed it.
Yeah.
I know Fred, you've done it. Yeah. Okay.
No, I haven't reviewed it. Because when I do reviews, I show everybody the entire book, page by page.
I'll show you.
So I haven't done that yet.
Barrier art, just beautiful stuff in here. Yeah. But I know when we looked into it and we were doing our review, we couldn't believe how well it was put together. Like the way that he has it from, and I don't want to spoil our video, but just trust us.
Here he goes.
Just trust us when we say this is a great product. Go to Drive-Thru RPG in DM's Guild, download it or order a soft cover for, I don't know, $12, $14. Order the hardback, better yet. And it fits right on your shelf. Great spine to it. The book itself is put together well. And then the way that he did the layout of each puzzle, giving you hints and all kinds of things. It's just a great product that he created for us. And I know it was a labor of love for him. So I'm proud of him.
Yeah, it makes game designers look like amateurs, unfortunately.
No, honestly. Yeah. It just shows you that there's a lot of creative power outside of the companies. You know what I mean? It shows you how much talent is really out there.
Yeah.
But it's not the few that work at the big companies. It's everywhere. And D&D, more than anything, and I got to quit talking. There's 3 other people here, but D&D more than anything helps everybody find that creative energy, and go forward. What do you think, Lugs?
Yeah, I think I just think it's cool that, because like whenever I run a game, my notes are really scattered. I'm using like 3 different books. It's like, I have some part in one sketchbook, I have something in this other notebook I have, to kind of put everything together. But it's cool to see someone actually organize all their notes, organize all the things they made, and come out with the book that Wally's put out. And just based off of the content from his channel and how closely guarded Dad has kept that book, I'm kind of scared to see what's in it.
Right.
I'm excited though, and I think it's cool that it's just something that someone came up with, and it's inspiring to me to think like, okay, this is kind of the pattern of how you organize this stuff and package it up so that other people can use it, and it kind of helps young go-getters like myself feel like, what, I could do something like this. I could put something together and put it out there.
Sure you could.
Yeah. Well, and he set the bar pretty high, I will say. But at the same time, it was kind of surprising when we had him on. I think he said it took like 4 days to do that book.
Yeah,
is that right, Wally? It was like 4 days.
4 days with like no breaks, no sleep, no work.
He said, I remember him saying 4 days. If you mean by 4 days, you mean like 2 years, then yes. Yeah. So it took a bit of time, and it shows. You can't just whip that overnight. And so, and for him, I know it's a labor of love. So that's, 4 days to the 100th power, he said. Yeah. So that's it's a good find. All right. So let's talk Tasha's. What do you think about Tasha's? All right, so
I'm going to change the light because for some reason it's showing that I don't have a lot of hair, and it's just the lighting. So I'm going to.
That is the lighting. Something's wrong there because
it's a trick of the light. It's an optical illusion.
Yeah, because from when
Gonzo, you wear a hat like I do. That's what you hide it for. You know, Mark's got the beanie, so he knows what to do. What are you doing?
That's what you do, man. That's you just turn a hat on backwards and you're golden. Yeah. Mine's not. I have hair, but it's just it's on the grayer side. I don't know what's up with that. No, I messed up my sweet hat. All right, so
Whoa.
Tasha's.
I haven't seen the alternate cover yet. That looks cool.
Isn't it? Yeah. It has like an Oriental feel, I think, that art.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of that woodblock-esque.
Yeah.
So here's what I think. Well, actually, Fred, why don't you talk first? Because I know you may have to run soon to real life stuff. But
Yeah. I've got to go to the toilet in at least 10 minutes. So,
okay. Stupid real life.
Real life way.
Yeah. Okay, so I have to say I like the artwork, but then again, as I said, I haven't had an issue with any of the artwork put out by Wizards of the Coast.
Right.
I have noticed that it is already a bestseller on Amazon. I expect the book will probably sell out. I would imagine it will be one of the most popular new books put out. And that's saying a lot, considering that Wildmount did extremely well. I mean, that sold out during pre-order on Amazon. Well, it went to bestseller, didn't it? It went to bestseller. And that was put out by Matthew Mercer. So it had a very strong basis. And it was a very well-constructed book. I haven't seen the book, like nobody else has seen the book.
Right.
I would imagine, given they have put a whole lot of stuff that should have been in the Dungeon Master Guide when they first put it out, and a whole lot of stuff that should have been in the Player's Guide when it first came out, it's going to do extremely well. My only concern is that the sorts of stuff that they have talked about being in the book are quite capable of unraveling Dungeons & Dragons 5e. And I know the argument is always going to be, and I don't know for sure because I haven't seen it, but I am suspicious that it might actually do that, primarily because when you give somebody so many different options and it's so fluid, you wind up falling into that trap that Dungeons & Dragons 4e, 3.5, and Pathfinder has embraced it like a marketing model. And it could wind up creating so many loops because the more options you put in, the easier it is for somebody to find a way of breaking the game and then generating more work for dungeon masters. That's one of the things that really concerns me about Tasha. This book is capable of doing that. Mm-hmm. And that's the only thing that really concerns me the most about it.
Mark, why don't you put up Overboard DM? He's saying, put that up there for a minute. I won't buy that one, he said. I think that is why. Well, I hate that it covers Fred's face, but
I know. Hold on. That's what I do. There we go.
There we go. I mean, I didn't mean that on purpose.
Yeah.
I feel.
Then why'd you text me and said cover up his face?
Yeah, that was. I think that's something to talk about, Fred. I think that's a subject that some people are afraid to talk about, but I don't know why I would be, because I agree with you in a lot of ways. I feel like, and Mark and I have said this before, but when D&D, what I already don't like is that so many classes can heal. So many classes have magic, almost all of them, except for maybe a barbarian or something, right? So many, it seems like homogenizing the classes when everyone's special, no one's special. Like I really like that, man, I'm going to be a rogue, and in my group, I'm the only one that's going to be able to help with this or that. Well, no, now the bard can do it. Now the trickster cleric can do it, whatever. So I feel like this may, and we don't know that for sure yet, but this may homogenize the classes once again, homogenize the players. I know it's supposed to open up more options, but I think you're right too, that can just make for more loops where people can not break the game, but just maybe make it not as fun. I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think?
No, I agree. We've talked about this at length. Honestly, this is the thing that killed World of Warcraft for me, in that everything became homogenized. So back in the day, you had to have a healer, a tank, a rogue. You had to have certain things to go do something. But then they gave those abilities to everybody. And I know they did it so that you didn't need those things, which they thought that was helpful to getting a group together.
Yeah, for a small group that works out. If you only have 3 players, you can still have a healer and not have to pick a cleric, you know.
And that sounds all well and good, but what happened was then you just grabbed any random person, and the whole friendships, the bonds that you knew a good healer, you knew a good tank, all that was out the window. So you just grabbed any old person, ran it, didn't even talk to each other during dungeons and things, and it was just do things to get them done, and it just killed the social aspect of the game. And not that would kill the social aspect of this game, but you're special like everybody else is what ends up happening. You know, it's like, oh, great, you know. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of that idea, and I kind of worry that is going to be game breaking. However, they have said that whatever's in here is optional, which that's every book that they come out with.
Right.
You know, I mean, honestly,
it really doesn't affect us, honestly.
Right? If
we don't want it to, right? If we don't want it to, what I don't want it to be, and I know it's not, is another version of this, which was just a lore book.
Right.
There's nothing really, very little in here that would really help, unless you just have no idea where to start to create an adventure and on the Sword Coast. But you know, this book just didn't have a lot to offer players, yet they still have to pay. At the time, it was $40 or something. So
all right, so you want to know what's in it?
Yeah, what's in it?
This is everything we know that's in it. So this is pulled from a Reddit. Someone got all this information together. They've pieced together what is in it. And there's some of the stuff's like, you know, okay, whatever. But some of it is
some of it sounds fun.
Interesting. Yeah, right, exactly. Some of it I think is a cop-out. Like, you know, they're going to put together a bunch of reprinted stuff. You know, and this to me kind of sounds like a 5.5 or a 5.5 kind of thing, where they're going to aggregate some things from different sources. Mm-hmm. Like they're reprinting some things from Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica, some stuff from Theros, some stuff.
The Artificer class, which Logan did a great video on with you or with me, I forgot. But I mean, that's going to be reprinted in here. And maybe they'll change it a little bit. I wouldn't think so.
And then there's some stuff that they've added that's new, and there's you got different things they've added to the different classes, and that's pretty expected.
Yeah, new subclasses that they took from I think a lot of these were in the Unearthed Arcana.
Right, and that's one thing it said. You're going to see a lot of this from Unearthed Arcana, and I'm like, as I said, to me that's a little bit of a cop out, but it's, I mean, it is what it is. I guess these are maybe the finished version of the Unearthed Arcana.
Right.
Maybe where they're going with this. So I'm just kind of scrolling through some of these, but there are some interesting things like psionic stuff is I thought interesting. I guess we think interesting as in Eberron, or not Eberron, but Dark Sunish, you know, paving the way. Every time we see psionics, we're like, okay, yeah. And there's races, but I think the thing that's really controversial here is the stuff with the races. And where it talks about the ability score modifiers, they use the word disentangling personal traits from cultural traits here.
We're gonna see, man.
Yeah.
See. What I don't want is that you can use any ability modifier. I think, well, not that it won't affect my game, but if you can use any ability modifier, does that mean a halfling can have a 20 strength? And a Goliath, you know, may have a 20 dexterity or something. It just wouldn't, thematically, it doesn't seem to fit when there aren't like natural benefits to being a certain class.
Right.
Or a certain race. Sorry.
No, I agree. I
don't know. I mean, I'm posing that as a question. If there aren't really benefits to being a certain race, then why be any race? Just for the way you like to draw it, or the pictures, or what you picture in your mind, I guess.
Right. No, I agree. I like what's down here in the DM tools, though. I will say these are intriguing. The book contains rules for supernatural environments and natural hazards, parlaying with monsters, some information on session 0, which, you know, we feel strongly about session 0, so it'd be interesting what they say in that. New puzzles and traps, Sorry, Wally. I'm sure they're not nearly as good.
I mean, Wally's book came out first. They're just trying to keep up with him.
That's it. That's it. Yeah. But the puzzles require teamwork. And I think again, Wally's got to beat on that as well. But this is interesting, these magic environments. So for high level encounters, now we've talked a bit before that there is not a lot of content for when you get to the higher levels, it starts to become pretty tough to challenge them. But these things like eldritch storms filled with undead beings, that's pretty cool.
That sounds so cool.
I know. A mimic colony where everything's a mimic. I know. I'm like, oh yes, yeah. So region where magic is unraveling. So there's some interesting things in here that I like. And then there's down here is the sidekicks we talked about. They're gonna bring those in here and all. So there's a lot of cleaning up in this, in this edition, and repackaging some old stuff and then adding some more stuff here and there. So it's a hodgepodge kind of is the way I see it. But yeah, there's some game breaking things possibly in there, and
could be.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, so I think either way, it's gonna like Fred said, I think it'll get bought. We'll all have a copy of it, and what we like out of it we'll use. What we don't, we'll complain about. So but
yeah, this right here worries me.
Oh dear. I actually have to go.
Okay.
I am
right on that
call of the wild. but yeah, I have to agree that I mean, I'm always concerned when they say it's going to be optional, because I mean, how many games can you say to people, well, multi-classing and feats are optional, and as soon as you say that, like, I don't want to go, I want to go and play with somebody else because I don't want to play in your game. So this is the problem when you put out supplements and then you say it's optional, because it's really not optional, because players will expect to be able to use those things, and then they will get upset when they can't.
You're right. You're right.
That's the concern I have, is that really there won't be the option to make them optional.
Yeah,
you're right. You're right. Especially in a public setting, at your home group that you play with all the time, you can kind of session zero it and say, "Hey, here's what we're going to use." But we go to a public setting, we all go to a convention and run some games. There's going to be people that be using these rules, and it'd be hard for you to say, "Oh no, I'm not doing that." So
yeah.
Look, all the best, guys. It was great to meet you, Logan, and I will hopefully get a chance to rewatch this later on.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming with us, and we hope to see you again. We'll collaborate again for sure. You're doing a great job, by the way. You're killing it, and I think you're at 21,000 subscribers.
Yeah, forget about subscribers. Subscribers mean nothing. It only matters if people like your stuff and they watch it.
Well, that's true. That's true. But congrats on your growth. That means people are watching and liking
Absolutely.
it.
Okay, thank you, guys.
All right, glad having you. Good luck to you. Have fun at work.
See you, Fred.
We'll be thinking about you. Poor guy.
Yeah, man.
That's good. Mark, one thing, technical thing here. I see Overboard had a comment, and then Streamlabs told him, please refrain from sending long messages. Do you have the settings set where people can't type too much? Or
no, I don't have.
You don't see that?
Oh, I do.
Streamlabs? Yeah. Overboard got reprimanded, he said.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, I see that. Yeah, I'm like, that's interesting, because this is actually on StreamYard. So Streamlabs is interfering with it. Yeah. Don't worry. I'll be shutting that down before too long, so don't worry about that. Yeah.
Well, if you get yelled at by the computer, just know it's not us. So.
Yeah, that's not us.
Right.
In fact, I was going to say, but I know this crowd probably doesn't need it, that I did not set up the curse words in chat to screen. So please refrain from cursing, because you can literally go in and tell it, don't allow these words. And so I'm going to have to get all this together. Yeah.
One of the keys to that book, it's 192 pages. And so is this book, Xanathar's Guide to Everything, which is basically your player's handbook too. And so I feel like this is the third player's handbook, in that it gives more subclasses, right, Logan? It gives more options for dungeon masters. It'll have more tables in it. It'll have puzzles, not as good as Wally DM's puzzles.
Oh, obviously.
It'll have them in there.
Yeah.
So this is a good book.
Mm-hmm.
We use this a lot. So I think overall we'll still, we're going to have it one way or the other, and we'll still enjoy it. But
yeah,
we'll see.
yeah, I'm pretty excited to see it, because like what you said, I feel like it is like the third player's handbook. And out of all the books that I can afford with my poor college student budget, and that me and my friends can afford, like I had a friend come up and ask me like, hey, if I could only get a certain number of books, because I can only afford a certain number, he's like, which one should I get? So I said, well, player's handbook. And he's like, well, what else, like as a player, what do I need? And I'm like, well, Xanathars.
Yeah.
That's because that kind of opens the door. One, it gives you a few options for subclasses and races and just kind of different things, feats. But I mean, also it kind of opens the door, and this is how you take from those basic things in the player's handbook, and this is how you can make something new or something different. It gives a good template of how to change things up. And since then, he's kind of used that pattern, and he's made his own like subclasses, and he's tried to bring it into games and stuff. And some of them were super broken, but one of them he did was super fun. So I mean, I think it's cool to see just more ideas and almost get that reminder from Wizards of the Coast, like, hey, you guys can do anything you want. You guys can change up this class any way you want it. But like what you guys were saying, well, what if the DM creates this world that's set in Theros and it's all Greek and stuff, and then you have a bunch of half crab, necro dancers, which are bardic necromancers, come in. What are you supposed to do with that?
Right.
So I mean, yeah, it's got gives and takes on it.
That's true.
This is a good point here. I saw that as a person who likes to play warlocks. I was like a GD patron. And it said in those notes that it has access to Wish. I'm like, interesting.
That'll be good. I think overall we'll be happy with the book. I think that some people will get their nose bent out of shape for the little bit in there that they may not enjoy. But that's D&D in general. So again, like we keep saying in a lot of our videos, the game is how you play it with your group. So you have complete control, and they can't change it. Wizards of the Coast, they can't literally change the way you play the game, because you're going to take what rules you want. If you want to play first edition D&D, you can still do that, and they can't. No one can come to your house and say, knock, 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 hey, you're not playing the game right. There's no such thing. So
I like this comment here, because obviously another warlock comment. This reminds me of the Raven Queen from Critical Role. Yeah. Oh, hey, look at this.
Oh, we got our first super chat.
Yeah. Sorry for long.
Hey, we got to take a picture of this.
Yeah. This is a moment in time.
Super chat, because we actually did get monetized, which means we can take super chats. I'm going to take a picture of my screen.
Well, do you see why? It's because he's in jail.
I know.
You guys got to let him out.
Mark, what did you do to the poor guy? We didn't do that on purpose, I promise.
Oh, wait. Gosh.
I'll put his message up there, or I'll take a picture like that.
Oh, my gosh.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Can I get out of jail? So what does it actually say you're in jail, Overboard?
Overboard, are you timed out or something from this?
Dude, you got to let him out.
Mark.
Dude, I don't know. I got to switch over to stream. So talk amongst yourselves.
Okay,
just fix everything, Mark.
Yeah.
So there's also news that they're continuing to finally get back to work on the D&D movie.
Oh, hallelujah.
Yeah, they're filling in more cast members and stuff like that. They're keeping it pretty close to the vest, which is I like, because I hate when I know everything about a movie before it comes out. I don't mind hyping a movie, but I don't like when I know all about it. That's why I don't like trailers, because you basically see the story arc, the character's hero's journey, and then you see how they finish it, and all their snide comments as they do the finishing punch or whatever. So I don't like trailers to movies either. So that's good news. What other D&D news that's recent? Something that I'm trying to think. Oh, there's a new Dungeon Master screen.
Oh, yeah.
That looks really interesting. I should have had you pull that up, but there's more stuff than just the screen. So, which I think a screen is cool anyway, especially if you're trying to run something that it ties into. Like I have the third-party Curse of Strahd screen that's great to put out when you're running something in Ravenloft. So hey, bye Wally.
See you, Wally.
Yeah.
Bye, Wally.
So that's good. And the this one that they're releasing looks a lot of fun, and it has other stuff with it. It has some other things, like some maps or something, I think. And so that's really neat too.
I'm not finding it quickly, but I was going to try to grab it real fast, but
All
I see is Reincarnated. Oh wait, D&D has a new August 31st. They posted something. Oh, okay, here it is.
Yeah.
All right, I can do it. All right, so Wilderness Kit. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
That's cool.
It comes
That's
to
pretty
come in a box,
Yeah.
and inside the box will be it's a hard, not a soft
Hex maps.
master screen. So it's a hard one.
So the front side of the screen, it has is this just one kit, the Wilderness Kit? Like, is that just one screen in there?
Yeah.
Okay, so it has the picture of what the players are looking at, and then kind of different stats for the world inside of it. Is that kind of how it works, or?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Kit comes with 27 cards to track conditions, environmental effects, and initiative.
Yeah.
That's pretty helpful.
Huh.
November 17th, and 5 dry erase sheets with hex maps, food and water tracker, and more rule references for wilderness survival. So there we go again, Mark, where the environment matters, which we like.
Yeah, actually, environment I feel like has been kind of pushed to the wayside. That's not such a big deal. And in fact, I heard people complain about 5th edition travel rules are kind of jacked up right now. But honestly, I think that can be, we like tension in our games, and you can use your environment to really bring tension. So I think it's something that needs to be used probably more often, but not all the time. I mean, it can bog down like bad and then be like, what'd you do all night? Well, we traveled from point A to point B. That was exciting.
I pretended to drive a wagon for 30 miles.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that was so fun. Yeah, you don't want that to happen, but yeah, I think the elements, snow and or desert, worried about water and all, not tracking rations and food and water. That's a little bit too crunchy than we would like, but.
Yeah, but it could be if you do it pretty easily, where it's just like you have, it's easy to keep track of. It could be beneficial, like to make tension in the game, which I know in Dark Sun, I think that's important to have rations being something that they may have to keep track of and make sure they always have at least, if they're going on a 4-day journey through the desert, they need 12 rations, or else they're going to suffer effects of exhaustion.
Right.
Yeah.
At a certain point. So the less they have, the more exhaustion levels they may reach before they get to their next supply point or something, or they can resource or steal something or whatever. So,
I agree. All right. So what do you guys think about creating an adventure?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. And I think we talked about, Mark, we want those that are in the chat to participate as well.
Yep, absolutely.
So you guys feel free to help us with this adventure. And I think the first thing that we want to look at would be, where do we want to start? Do we want to start with the bad guy and build the adventure around that? Do we want to start with the setting and build the adventure around that? I mean, when you're creating a venture, I guess let's talk about what are some of the things we need to come up with in the first place. We know we have heroes. That's the people around the table. So I think one of the first things we need to have is, what's the setting? Where are they? Are they on a pirate ship? Are over the ocean? Are they in the desert like we talked about? Are they trapped in jail? So what's the setting? Are they in the dungeon or going to a dungeon? What do you guys think?
Matt Nerdy likes the big bad evil guy.
Starting with the bad guy. Okay.
Let's do it. All right.
Good idea. So what you and I do, I love our videos when we talk about, it's strange. I like our videos, but I like.
I'm glad you like them.
Yeah. I like our videos when we talk about monsters that are multifaceted, that have different abilities other than just a lot of hit points and damage. So what is something that maybe is an intelligent creature?
A warlock.
Overused. Could be a warlock.
Matt Nerdy says a warlock. I'm in.
Yeah.
Maybe a warlock.
Sweet.
Okay.
All right, our big bad evil guy's a warlock. All right, what's his deal?
Well, I think one thing we can ask with it being a warlock is what kind of warlock is he?
Yep.
Because that could tell us a lot about where he's at, kind of what's going on with him.
Watching the party stuck in jail. Okay, there's a theme going on here.
What is
Sorry,
going on?
Overboard. He's not really in jail, but
Okay.
he's just messing with us.
Oh,
because I asked him, I'm like, "Are you in jail for real?" He's like, "No." So, all right. Well, he's watching over the party stuck in jail. That could be a thing.
Watching over the party. So maybe they're all in jail.
Okay.
And he's in a neighboring cell.
Okay.
That's where we're starting.
All right.
Okay, guys, you guys got your characters made? Yeah, we're great. We're ready to go. Okay, you have no equipment on you. So all of your starting equipment is not on you.
Yeah.
So your armor class needs to be adjusted, and you are in a jail.
Mm-hmm.
And there are several cells around you. And in one of the cells is a guy who just wearing not much other than a hood, hoodie, maybe keeps himself in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
But he introduces himself as, we need a name for this guy, Logan.
Yeah, we need a name.
A name.
Name
Warlock?
for a warlock that's going to end up being
Good warlock name. Something warlocky.
Okay.
or in a race. What is he?
Warlock.
Chat, you can help too.
What about?
Exactly overboard. That's what I'm thinking too.
They don't know he's evil. Yeah.
He's going to be working with them to help them. Let's get out of here, guys. And
yeah, he plans like a breakout, and somehow he's got the ability to snap his fingers, and the shadows coalesce over the locks, and they pop open. And then you flip a timer, and it's like, okay, the next shift of guards comes down in 5 minutes.
What are you like doing? This. All right, I'm trying to capture this.
What if he's unassuming? So like a gnome or something.
Ooh, yeah.
So if he's a gnome, let's give him a gnome name. How about like Gimbal?
Gimbal,
Rundar. What do you guys think?
Gimbal
Rundar.
That's his name. All right.
He's a gnome. So he's not very menacing looking,
Mm-hmm.
He may have some dark circles under his eyes. He may be goth. Mm-hmm. Maybe he paints his nails black because he goes to the Marilyn Manson concert. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, but
is that your idea for Warlock's dad? Is it just a bunch of moody guys on Hot Topic?
Don't worry about it. I don't ever play a Warlock, so I got. Don't judge me.
Oh,
this might turn into a dig on Warlocks because he knows I like to play a Warlock.
Okay, this is important. Overboard's giving him a bowl cut. Now that's
you see, that's why he's evil. It's the bowl cut.
Because of that haircut.
That's his tragic backstory.
He's giving him a bowl cut. I would make him turn evil. His mom always cut his hair in a bowl cut, so he decided to make a patron with who knows
a deal with the devil.
A deal with the devil.
Ooh, what if we take some from Tasha's, have a genie patron?
All right.
And his maybe this guy's motivation is that he wants to please his patron so he can have access to the wish spell.
There you go.
Because that'd be, as a player with a genie patron, I'd be begging for a wish the whole time, just like let me change the universe, please. Maybe this guy with his bowl cut, he's a little gnome, probably gets picked on, maybe pushed around, but really unassuming. And so he's going to team himself up with some powerful entity so he can wish to, like, no one's going to laugh at me now.
Yeah.
Powerful.
Talk about unassuming. They're not going to think he's a threat. He looks like a dork.
So Gimbal Rundar was, when it comes to gnomes, they're generally a happy-go-lucky people. He just he had all the worst luck. He obviously didn't have good parents. Maybe he was an orphan. In fact, his background could be that of a urchin.
Yeah.
Urchin background. And just never, always got picked on. And for whatever reason, he had a bowl cut that just doesn't grow. It just stays in a bowl. So it led for him. Mark, we need a picture of a bowl cut. That's just.
Okay, got it.
We need a classic picture of a bowl cut.
Okay.
So he's picked on, and this is where we're going with him being evil. He's not maybe really evil, but he's definitely unhappy with life. So
and that could be kind of the players as they get to know this guy. Did they discover, oh, this guy, we should have left this guy in jail?
Yeah.
Or they'll think like, oh, we feel bad, we're going to help him. Maybe the party joins them. Maybe the party tries to go against them. But that's where your players can flip the adventure on itself.
Man.
Oh my gosh.
Would that be? So if they're in jail, just breaking out of jail is going to take a minute because these guys are probably going to be, there's going to be some guards. Maybe there'll be a trap or two. Or like maybe not like a trap, but like an alarm system.
Maybe an alarm system, yeah. Oh my God.
Poor kid. Jeez. That's just torture right there.
That is definitely him.
That's so bad.
That's his adult face.
That poor kid.
Oh man.
I feel so bad for him.
Gimbal ruined our.
Oh man.
You gotta be kidding.
Oh, well, we'll be. By the way, you know that we just got monetized here at Dungeon Class. This will demonetize us really quick.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I know. I'm trying to find a non-kid. I mean, it's like that's kind of like.
But I mean, he's a gnome, so it fits.
Yeah.
That's so funny. All right, so Gimbal. So he's obviously going to be spearheading the breakout.
Yeah.
That's how he's going to gain the party's trust. Is maybe he'll have an idea of how to get out.
Mm-hmm.
So he's gonna, and whatever that is, I think you can easily work out whether it's, hey, you distract him and I'll pick the keys off the guard when he comes to bring our food or whatever it may be. Maybe he's got access to a couple of magic spells still, like cantrips or something that they can't really, take away from him, something like that. But I think you're right, Logan. So let's from there, as the players escape. Now, what is his goal? What does he want them to do that would make him end up being the big bad evil guy?
I think if he tries to throw him under the bus, if he tries to just classic betrayal, he's going to use the party. He's going to lead them so far. And then when the guards show up, he's going to be like, quick, they're using me as a hostage. And then try to maybe like Misty Step or something and get away and let the party kind of suffer. Maybe he used them as cannon fodder. Know that there's going to be traps or something, or maybe if this is it isn't just a regular jail in a town. What if they have some kind of, instead of a guard dog, what if they had like a guard? I don't know, some kind of monster, like a little junior owlbear or something on a leash.
Right.
And this guy's like.
So your first encounter is going to be I guess, would be breaking out. And that can be done so many different ways that it's hard to even plan on. They may pick the lock, they may break it, they may, whatever comes out. And then the second one will be their encounter with either guards or, like you said, something that's maybe not a human being guard or something, but something that they would have to encounter, like
a pet.
Yeah, a trained pet of some kind. So let's come up with that one.
There.
Dungeoneers pack. Oh my gosh. Dungeoneers pack just got jacked up for sending long messages, Mark.
All right. I got to turn this off somehow.
Talk
amongst yourself.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I'm afraid, though, that it will turn everything off. Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, Dungeoneers pack is in jail.
What do you think should be the second encounter? What should be the pet? Pet owlbear? That's kind of overused. How about something?
Well, let's ask the chat.
Oh, I know what it is. It's the Cloudbot.
Cloudbot.
Turn off Cloudbot. I'll turn it off. Here we go. I think this will do it.
The Cloudbot is the second encounter.
That is
okay.
An encounter.
It should not be messing with him now.
But let's ask the chat. What kind of monster and or enemy would the party be facing if they've gotten out of jail, kind of maybe gotten through the first little bit? What guy is standing in between them and the exit?
Mm-hmm. I don't have my monster manual in front of me, but let's think. Let's just say the Ixvart Warlock. I don't know what that means. Maybe it's a couple undead, like a couple zombies that are just like
There we go.
chained up in the right place where if you tried to go past them, without a staff or something, you can push them away, that you have to fight them.
Ooh.
Almost like Walking Dead scenario.
Dungeoneers pack just put up a cool one. What if it was a magic prison with a vault? He could be in there on purpose trying to MacGuffin for his patron, or is using the party to get it. So this guy's got an ulterior motive. Like he
there's something in there.
Yeah.
That
and
he's
then
trying to get.
Matt Nerdy said exploding toads.
Okay.
I kind of like it.
I think exploding giant toads are perfect.
Exploding giant toads.
Yes, there's going to be basically a alarm system trap that if they don't see it and step on a pressure plate or something or whatever you want to make, that they
it'll like seal the doors
out of the wall. These toads come flying in, and they're big and small, all different sizes, and they explode when they when they hit you, when they touch other skin, doing 1d4 damage a piece.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gross. Okay, exploding toads, perfect.
And along the way, if the party encounters like a just random patrolling guard, we can make them super easy. Just give them like 5 hit points that, the big whoever in the party could knock them out, and they can take gear. So that way, along the way, they're finding kind of equipment and things they can use.
Okay. I do like Dungeoneers Pack's idea that he's in this prison on purpose. Gimbal is in here on purpose. There's something in here he wants to find. So as he tries to tell him, okay, now we go right, whatever, he's not trying to get out of the prison.
Yeah, the stairs could be going up and then go right, and the stairs are going down.
Yeah, he's like, no, we need to go down. We can't get out that way. It's too heavily guarded. So he's always going to be leading them further into this prison until they get to a classic dungeon where there's something, a MacGuffin, that he needs for his patron. And of course, he's in the very back using the party as, but they're trusting him because he's the one that helped them break out in the first place.
Or they're completely not trusting him and waiting for the moment to throw him in front of the...
They may. Our party would do that, but...
Our party would snap his neck and take his gear and run,
True.
Somebody help me catch my toads.
That's nice. Yeah, that's good. That was Overboard's idea. Yeah. So that gets them for a second, like, oh, we'll help. Oh, and then they get blown up. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I think the trap.
I think this adventure already is playing out where you're going to need, as a dungeon master, you're going to want to come up with a quick map, which you can pull anyone off or just write it, draw it yourself, of a real basic prison system, but definitely have the choice where they can go up, which would obviously lead out of the prison, even if there's more guards and stuff up there. And then also a secret door or something that leads down, which is where Gimbal Rundar is going to actually tell them, no, that's where we need to go. So this is also where your players sometimes would say, if they don't trust him all the way, they may say, well, can we make a check to see if he's telling the truth? So his charisma has to be very high, so it'd be hard for them to see that he's deceiving them, right?
Which would be high as a warlock, yeah.
I was going to say, that's their jam right there.
I give him a very high charisma and make it pretty hard for them to, I would almost give it an advantage in charisma checks in that he not only helped them escape, but his information has been good up until this point. But there's going to be a point where players are like, wait a minute, is this guy tricking us?
Yeah.
We're going
and
down.
If you're building the character, if you're building this for a specific design and your adventure, just give the guy expertise. Give him a 20 charisma, give him expertise in deception and persuasion, and just make him a fast talker. And whether they choose to believe him or trust him or not is their choice. But at least from what the DM is telling them, it's like, nah, this guy seems pretty legit, So
I see exactly what Overboard's saying and Matt's saying. I'm agreeing with that. He's helping all along the way, so he's gaining their trust. Even when they fight the toads, he helps them get rid of the toads. Maybe he jumps in front of somebody, does something heroic that really doesn't hurt him, but takes a little bit of damage. He jumps in front of. I mean, they would be like, oh, this little gnome guy, even with his bowl cut, he's pretty cool. So, and then they're not even looking for deception; they're trusting him. I think that's a great way. Good, man. We're all thinking the same. This is good. And then the MacGuffin itself. What is he gonna? There's gonna be another encounter, and that'll be whatever's guarding this MacGuffin. You know, whatever's guarding this prize that he needs to get. So,
Well, if he's got a genie patron, what chat help us out? What would be something that a genie patron would find worthy of bestowing some bull cut gnome with unlimited power? Like, what if in this dungeon, one of the guards or like the captain of the guard or something has like these bracers that used to belong to the genie, or if you want to go classic with it, what if the dang lamp for the genie is in there somewhere, or something like that? You know?
All right. What do you think?
I'm trying to think of something that they would use. I would say that it has to be a magic item, and that the item itself would be maybe not an artifact, like not that high level of a thing, but something that would definitely prove a boon to him. So I don't know what warlocks use. Again, I haven't played one. I'm not sure what they...
Spell books are always a good thing. Power.
Okay.
Power.
All about power.
Yeah.
That's why the access to the wish spell, maybe whatever the magic item is actually what the genie wants him to get.
Right. What if it's a scroll that has been kept down here that actually has the wish spell on it, and he's able to get to it long before he could actually get it from his studies as a patron? Like it's going to be a fast track to the wish spell. And
We could even steal from.
Maybe he asked the genie, "Hey, how do I get the wish spell?" And he's like, "Actually, there's one in a prison down there. If you dare to go get it, it's on a scroll, and you'd be able to use it." So
what if this guy, if we want to steal from Aladdin, his goal is to become a genie. He wants to be as powerful as his patron.
Right.
And he wants this wish spell, and is going to be, once he's going to try to take it, wish that he becomes a genie.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe his patron's happy with this, maybe he isn't.
Yeah.
But just stealing from the end of Aladdin when Jafar is like, I wish I was a genie.
All right. Well, maybe, and with the wish spell, maybe he could do that very same thing, like you said, from Aladdin.
Maybe.
So he could wish for the power of a genie.
Because that'd be, yeah. Or if he doesn't become a genie, he can get the power of it, yeah.
So in this third encounter is where he's going to meet whatever's guarding this scroll, this ancient scroll that has the wish spell on it. So what would be guarding that would be something pretty powerful. And this is where he may tail off a little bit. He'll definitely help because he wants to get it, but he also doesn't want to die. So he's going to let them take the brunt of the damage. So this would have to be something like a ghoul or a ghast or something that can drain levels, and not super intelligent, but definitely deadly.
Well, here's an option. Instead of a monster, what if there was some kind of puzzle or trap? Maybe something you find in Wally DM's book.
Puzzle encounters.
And this guy cannot figure it out. And so he brings the party down. He wants them to figure it out. And then this last fight is going to be with this gnome as soon as he gets the scroll.
I think it's a great idea. Then we don't have to. So they're going to actually have to go through a puzzle, and you're going to pick a really tough one that could hurt them. And he's got them listed in here by damage and everything. So one that may trap them, that could hurt them or even kill them. But if they figure it out, they get, they're able to get this scroll. And then once they get the scroll, he's going to say, yeah, this is definitely the way out. Once I get my hands on this, I'll be able to get us out. If they give him the scroll, and we get to that point, that's where you continue the adventure the next day. But players are going to have to tackle him, not let him read it, which is easy to do. And, maybe the scroll itself is written in a language he doesn't know. So then he's like, oh, I've got this wish spell. And he betrays them by saying, I'm going to, blow you out of the water. And then he finds out that it's written in a language he doesn't know. And then they fight each other, and he's got all his spells and whatever.
Yeah.
So it's a quick little, you could even do this very low level. this adventure, because he could be mid-level, but your players could be pretty low level, or you could do it. You could fit it in anywhere, I think. So that's good. I think we've got it. I think that's the adventure. And the trick's on him. He gets the scroll. Gimbal gets it. It's written in a language he doesn't know. But by him getting it, he's now showed them his true colors. So there's going to be a confrontation there, and they still have to get out of the jail and continue on with their lives. So.
And here's a thought: if the party, at any time, especially in the beginning, they find out Gimbal's lying, or they like try to betray him and leave him for dead somehow, Gimbal can kind of either escape or fake his death or something, to where the party's like, okay, we're getting out of this jail. And they get up, maybe they fight the guards, maybe they don't, but somehow the message would get across like, you guys have no idea who you just broke out of jail. And then there's an explosion from the bottom, and then Gimbal's coming up with all this genie power, and you could have him kind of fight him out like in the top of this dungeon, trying to help keep him inside. Or maybe they're just sort of like, oh, hey, Gimbal, remember that one time we were friends?
Yeah.
But I mean, so either way,
and you
could have this dungeon ready, but if they don't want to go along with it, it's like, well, this is the consequence.
Yeah, I think we're calling him a big bad evil guy, but he doesn't have to be all of that. Like he could be misguided, he could be after power, and he could betray them, but he could be somebody that reoccurs, that they could meet over and over, or that maybe it's just like, maybe joins with them and they're just always like keeping an eye on him kind of thing, because they feel sorry for him and it's bowl cut. And,
Poor bowl cut guy.
It really depends on the social aspect of the game and how you play this, how the group plays it. If they're simply attack and defeat kind of group, then he's probably going to be a bad guy. They may defeat him. He may blink out and they see him later if you want to keep using him. And then he'll have a reason for revenge because they burned the scroll, or ended up doing something. Ooh. Yeah. So, you always give your bet. If you want them to keep coming back and leading things against them, then you give them a teleport spell or a ring or something with 3 charges or something. So, but there's so many options there that you can go with. He can basically break down and cry in front of everybody and say, "Oh, I made a pact with the genie and now I don't know what to do. He's got me. I'm actually enslaved by him." So you just never know. So. Yeah. I think there's a lot of good stuff right here within this fun little adventure. Be fun.
Plenty of options.
Yeah, a lot of options.
Yeah.
So this is great. I wonder how now, Mark. How can anyone who watches this video on replay, how can they get this adventure the way you've typed it up?
Well,
I
was going to type it up and available to our patrons for sure. I'll do it on a PDF and put it in what we call the secret vault. Some of our patron levels have access to the secret vault. This is the kind of stuff we put in there along with some of the stuff that we use in our game. So, but or you can just watch it again and take notes.
There you go.
It's available both ways.
Awesome. That's great. Well, that was fun. And I appreciate Overboard and Matt and those that contributed to the thing. They thought of things I wouldn't have. It's generally the case when you get people together with creative minds.
Dungeoneers pack helped.
Yep. Everybody. I like this. I think almost everybody had some input.
Yeah. It's fun.
Good.
It's fun. And I appreciate Fred coming in today. I know that Wally stopped by in the chat too. We're building an adventure and we're going to use his book as the last encounter to stump our players. And trust me, I know there's things in here that'll do that. That'll be tough puzzles. So, or traps, that kind of thing. All right, guys. Anything else you want to talk about? Life in general? Good.
Well, yeah. Nice to see Logan here with us. That was kind of a surprise thing for the weekend.
Yeah, and actually he'll be here in a couple weeks. He and his wife are moving back down to Florida, and they'll be around for the long haul. And as I go through what I go through, even if I'm not here, Logan will be here for sure. And that's a big blessing for Dungeon Class. And because Mark, I hate that you have to do everything by yourself. So
okay, all right. The tech side is what I'm here for.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just so you know, chat, we're going to do more of these. Try to be more consistent. I've committed to definitely doing more of these, and have some people jumping in, and Gonzo as he can make it. But we'll try to settle out to a kind of a set day that we can do these, so that people know they're coming and we can advertise better. And I think if we're consistent, then we'll see more people joining us. And for sure.
And I like the idea of having set days and then just doing them whenever we want to.
Yeah.
That way, whoever's around can come in and have a voice and whatever. But the set days are the ones where we're going to definitely talk about certain subjects that are highest on the minds of everybody. Whether it's new products to come out, reviews, that kind of thing, and maybe like this, like building an adventure. But sometimes you and I may just get on, or maybe just me or just you, and I'll just turn the camera down and paint a figure.
Yeah.
Or Logan may want to review an old dungeon, first edition module or something, and just kind of show everyone. I mean, whatever. So I love the flexibility with LIvestream. It's like, hey, just jump in if you want, and we appreciate it. We also appreciate our first super chat. That's kind of that's really fun.
I failed to mention that we have those turned on. We also have stickers turned on, and honestly, just so you know, these. This money goes toward upgrading our equipment and stuff. One of the top of our list right now is lighting. lighting is a thing. Trying to find lighting, and everything is a little bit pricey for lighting and stuff. So we're saving up stuff for that, and then upgrading our cameras and things like that, so we can make better videos, upgrade everything, so that we can make more quality content for you. And that's really what it's for and what it goes to. But these stickers, I've not played with stickers, but I see the super chat. I know how that works. But basically, the more you pay, the more it stays up there. I mean, eventually we're going to have hopefully a lot of people in chat, and people are going to be clamoring for our attention. And the stickers and all is a way to kind of get our attention, and also to have a little bit of fun along the way. So there's that. And for those who want to support us and ongoing, there's our Patreon as well, and we may have some other options going forward. As we grow, YouTube opens up more options for us to grow more. And one of the things, unfortunately, that you need to grow is money. And it boils down to that. It's like anything else. You had to scale your business. That's what it has to be. But honestly, as we've said often on Gonzo and I, the biggest reason we do this is because we want to give back to this community that we so love and want to share. This I really love, that we're able to get together and build something together. I think that's great. Going forward, just so you know, also we're planning on doing some challenges. If you saw our challenge video, we had a blast doing that. And so we would like to try to do things like that in our chat. I know some of the, you saw Wally was in, and I think Fred would want to join us. And I know Juice from Master the Game has expressed interest, and also we'll have some people join us from time to time. And it's fun. It's just a real fun exercise to try to see how creative you can be with a time limit. And we'll have like these people in, and we'll test Logan, see if he can handle the 2-minute time limit and the time crunch, and we might have to give him like a minute, because of tree. So
give me 3 seconds.
Yeah, 3 seconds.
I think the next video, I need to go get a gnome warlock out of the game store, and then we'll paint a gnome warlock. I don't know if I can paint a bowl cut on a little gnome warlock, but we'll try.
It'd be like that. Is that from was it The Incredibles? That little lady, when she had like almost like a bowl.
Edna mode.
Yes.
Edna mode.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, this is we love hanging out like this. We've been this is actually more fun than making the videos, honestly. Hanging out with our viewers live like this, and we would love to do this more. So we will. Anything else you guys want to say for the good of the cause there?
I'm good. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I would say, and with that,
Class
Class
dismissed.
dismissed.
Dismissed.